It is July 29th. We're in the parking lot of the Palm Springs Museum. We're going to be doing the Cactus to the Clouds. Looks like there's one person already going up, right up there. Got my buddy Dax.
How you doing?
He's ultra curious. And he's going to come and take on a run with me today up to the top and back down. Should be about 30 miles and 11,000 feet. Head back to the hotel and we are off to the races. So I was asking in the car, what is the longest run you've done? Ever?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Probably like under 10 miles.
Okay, so we're gonna triple his longest day in the heat of Palm Springs. This is the run profile. We start at right around 0 feet. Oh, those are me. And we head up all the way. Oh, this is just the beginning.
That's just the museum trail. To 13.
As I recall, there are a number of choices going up. But you're leaving the museum parking lot. We're about sunrise. It's 5:55. And not sure exactly how long this is going to take us, but we're prepared for all day. We went through packs a little bit. We have headlamps, calories, water, and we know we can fill up partway on the tram station if we need to. It's about, I think, almost 11,000 feet at the top, and it's steady ascent.
From base to top?
Yeah, I think it is the largest hike potentially in the US, where from the bottom of the trail to the top of the trail, sustained elevation gain. I don't think there's anything that does more elevation. And it's gonna get warm here today. Super warm.
I brought the raw eggs. I mean,
that's true. Other way.
It is kind of funny timing considering you said the name of the game.
Yeah, name of games go up. We pick the uphill.
Here, guys.
So Dax up here, I have known for how long? How old are you right now?
36.
36. So I've actually known him about half his life, since he's 18. Dax is, along with his partner, Sarah, one of the world's leading swing and Lindy Hop dancers.
Expert, please.
Expert, that's right.
That's the trending phrase.
We used to dance together in a performance group called the Flying Lindy Hoppers. So we have history together. Although he lives in LA now, they run a business called Lindy Loft. And I don't get to see him very much except for food and stuff every now and then. So we're definitely off the trail, but I'm pretty confident we're going to find it again before too long. There's this bulge here. It's a little confusing, if you know what I mean. Yep. When we get to the
Been to Thailand?
When we get to the top, we'll probably find the trail that we were wandering away from. So as long as we're going up, we're doing good. Yeah, the sun is now coming up. It's a little past 6, and it will only get warmer from here. So at the tram station, we can get some more liquid. But this is a hike that a lot of people warn you about, make it seem pretty scary. There's not a lot of outs once you're committed to climbing. So Cactus to Clouds Trail, tackle it if you're pretty confident and bring a decent bit of water. You should be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Be aware of on this trail, there are snakes, gopher snakes, rattlesnakes. On my previous ascents, I've come across both. If you see a stick laying across the trail,
It's not a stick.
Probably not, actually. There's so little vegetation.
I'm looking to pick up some new snake oil.
Basically up through there and onward. Trail is generally uneven and rocky. Various degrees of technical, but it's never ridiculously steep at any point. So it's a nice sustained climb, which is why I wanted to do this. Training for Moab 200, just needing to put in long days. And Dax has been
Training for Fatherhood 200.
Fatherhood 200. His son, how old is Huxley? Is he 3?
3.
3.
Got to get ready for these 3-year-olds who run around a little bit more aggressively.
So naturally, Dax is looking for ways to get out of the house for a while. So he's talking about 100.
I was like 30 miles or more.
100 miler curious, and was asking me questions. So I said, just come out. If I didn't think he was pretty capable, I probably wouldn't have opted to crack this off with him. But there is also an escape route at the top with the tram. Not at the top, maybe 2/3 of the way up. The tram goes down. So worst comes to worst, we can resupply or just adjust and go down. If it gets ridiculously warm, right now it's probably early 90s degrees. So probably like 92 degrees. It's pretty dry. It's a dry heat, Dax. And I go out with people a lot, actually. Probably on long things like this, probably 2/3 of the time I've got somebody with me. Then he said, are the ultra runners? Yeah. How many do you take? Non-ultra runners? Not a lot.
Not a lot. Like you said, I'm ultra curious, right?
That's right, very ultra curious.
Some form of ultra in it.
Dax's browser history. Running marathon.
Everyone running a marathon with no training. What to expect?
All the shops that he's gone to outfit himself get kitted with his shoes and such. The question is what?
The ultimate question is, how do you do this with no training?
Yeah. How long have you been training for this?
My whole life.
That's right. We will see. I'll be curious.
Every day I've lived has come up to today, right now.
This is it. Summit of his life. Like Killian Jornet. What age did I start running ultras? What do you say you were? 30 something?
36.
36? Probably right around there, actually. First one I did was Haney to Harrison, which was a 100K race.
And then you just jumped right into the first one, 100K.
Yeah, I think so.
What kind of training did you do for that?
I was running a lot on the road, doing trails and weekends, and we did a road marathon or two here and there. I just enjoyed it. So this is one that used to be a race in BC, British Columbia, where you could enter it as an individual or as a team and complete the 100K. So first time I did that, it's a little bit of up and down, but it's mostly flat on roads. So with the exception of vomiting my guts out in the middle because I was trying to follow a calorie plan where I was just trying to take too many calories in and it didn't go well. It was this Carbo Pro product that was like it was like syrup. So but then I completed it in I think 9 hours and 45 minutes or something like that.
100 miles?
No, 100K.
Oh, 100K.
62 miles. So I was happy with that. Form, and doesn't often follow the fall line where water would fall. It is kind of natural lines of a mountaineer would call it the weakness in the mountain where you can ascend up without running into huge difficulties. And then do some of these get formed by animals? And a trail like this, no, not really. There's not going to be animal trails. Simply there's not a lot of big animals out here to make trails.
Other than you and I.
Yeah. But places like Hawaii, when you're hiking in areas that are not as frequented, and this trail is a pretty regular trail, so people are on it a lot. In Hawaii, I've been at places where, yeah, you start to follow an animal trail, like a wild boar trail or something, and you get lost somewhere because you don't know what to follow. There's so many bugs around here right now. Giant beetles and ants everywhere. I don't know if it's the time of year, but they're
swarming.
Yeah, all over the trail, millions. I like this because it gets out to where you don't have many people,
yeah,
and you see some of the most beautiful places and trails and things that, yeah, there's a sense of satisfaction to getting up to the top or hitting the tram station where people have queued up and paid their money to get up, and you pop up over the edge after coming up a steep embankment for a few hours. It feels much better. And just staying active, like spending a day doing this, to me is invigorating in a way that is different than cruising around in a car or standing in lines at an amusement park or something like this. This is way more fun.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. This versus Disney.
Talking about bringing your kids out. He's saying he can't wait till his son is old enough to do this with him. And Indigo, my daughter, she's not drawn to it, but she's been on a number of long hikes with me in different places, including like up and down Half Dome in a day. I think that's 18 miles and maybe 6,000 feet. So 6,000 feet over 8 miles or 9 miles, and then back downhill. And she did great with that. But this kind of thing, you don't want to drag someone along because you're in deep water when you're a few hours in and someone decides to give up, you know, sit down or go back down or whatever. It's hard. You don't want to be calling rescue if you can help it, unless you're legitimately hurt. We are at about an hour 35. I think we're maybe 2,500 feet up, so a quarter of our climb at least is done. We can see the alpine where there's trees up above a little ways, and the environment changes significantly, but we're still a ways away from that, so just regular steady uphill. Seems like there's one or two people who might have been ahead of us today based on some footprints that we see every now and then, like these ones right here. This is probably someone who's done this a bunch of times and at least knows where they're going, so it's good to see those confidence foot tracks. Dax is asking me about the Barkley Marathon. Someone posted something on my timeline. There's a story that came out in Esquire that talked about the race this year and talked about, oh, sorry, lens is schmutzy. Talked about how John Kelly and Gary Robbins were battling it out in that race. Esquire, good article. Barkley Marathons, you could probably still find it. But we were talking about the finish. Gary is a buddy of mine from North Vancouver, and the year before had almost completed but went off on the 5th loop. And this year so John Kelly finished looking like a homeless person, but actually finished, you know, a wrecked man after doing it. You know, it's not like glory when you finish, it's you've gone through a war. And then Gary comes in from the wrong direction, and everybody's trying to follow it and see if he's going to make it by cutoff time. Nobody knows where he is. It's foggy. It's one of those times where you think, okay, either people are going to have a buzzer beater or they're going to be shattered. And it was shattering. So came out that he came in 6 seconds after 60-hour cutoff. And Laz, the race director, Gary Cantrell, basically, it's outside the rules, you're done. You also came in from the wrong direction. But that was a bit of a footnote afterwards. So the big story was missed cutoff by 6 seconds. And you can see Gary just in shambles, laying on the ground with his wife consoling him, just saying, oh, I got all my pages, all 13 from the books. And even Laz is basically shedding tears saying, sorry bud, that's it. And they play taps. So yeah, that was a hard one, I think, for everybody. Emotional roller coaster, especially for Gary. So maybe I'll get him out for a run at some point and do a video interview with him. That'd be sort of fun. He's he's got a good spirit, and he's a race director as well. His race, the Squamish 50 miler, which is a great race, just happened. So we got a bunch of stuff we can talk about. But people who are new to the sport or curious, ultra curious, are often turned into that direction by something like the Barkley Marathon, the race that eats its young, the next Netflix special, or hearing some story. There's a lot of stories about that. So another gateway, although that's a brutal gateway.
Gateway to hell.
It is. Unlike the Burning Man Marathon that my friend Sherry Yannick runs. She runs a much friendlier and easier ship. So try that if you can get a ticket to Burning Man. We are 2.5 hours in, taking a preemptive break to enjoy some shade, eat some Snickers and a cucumber and some coconut water, some homemade pecan butter with honey.
Honey, little rice ball, bacon, egg.
So Dax is feeling good, and sometimes it feels like, hey, it's not really worth stopping, but you always have to keep replenishing, especially if our day is probably going to be
9 hours.
I'd say 9 to 11 hours. We'll see. Maybe we'll do it a little quicker, maybe it'll be a little slower. We'll see. Depends on... Oh, dang it. Look at that. What just fell down?
Dropped your cucumber.
Jesus. All right.
Okay.
Got a little bit of
It's self-control.
crunch on it, so. Box here. If you're wondering what's in it, a gel, baby wipe, some crackers, some water, first aid kit, which is just freely available if people are in distress or haven't planned well. But do not treat it as a water drop. That's for the people who are in dire need, out of water, and probably at this point.
You're allowed to think about it though.
Yeah,
Man,
it's there.
I'd like to take a big gulp of that Alpine Spring.
Yeah. So, thank you whoever puts those up there. Another zone or climate area. More green trees instead of spiky shrubs. And we're heading up to the rocky point there. Maybe able to see a tower from the tram. And it's getting a little steeper. But we're doing good. I think we're well over halfway, so we probably climbed maybe 6,000 feet in 3.5 hours. So not a lightning pace, just steady and easy, and hopefully have a quality day rather than a sufferfest day. 4 hours and about 15 minutes in. Closing in on final stretch towards the tram. Feeling altitude a bit. Probably 7,000 or so feet. Looking forward to topping up water. Maybe eating a cold drink before going to the top. How you doing, Dax?
Feeling great.
He's doing great today. doing great. The altitude and the just going on to 5 hours, and we're close to the tram station saddle. Still moving. Had 3 breaks of maybe what, 3-4 minutes each?
Yeah.
One probably 5 minutes and another couple short ones. But other than that, steady, steady, steady. And this looks like where we'll start seeing the general public again. Folks have come up in the tram and who are hiking. Woo! Fantastic job. On a paved path now.
I know, back into civilization.
People, there's the tram.
Spend 5 hours walking so that we can get to people. It's funny.
Spend 5 hours walking so you can get a cold drink. Hello. Dax Hock. You've just climbed 8,000, oh my word, 8,200 feet.
Welcome to civilization.
And now we're having a veritable ultra runner's buffet of coconut water. I already killed my chocolate milk, even though it's tiny, and some salt. And he just tapped out his bladder in his hydration pack. I'm going to fill those up.
We walked.
We got about 2,200 feet to go. Doable.
Very doable.
This is an incredible luxury. A ice-filled hydration pack. Now we're gonna go put water in. We'll have cold water for, I don't know, at least a couple hours, or an hour maybe. From here to the top, you need to check into the ranger station, and they'll give you a permit for free, just so they know who's up here. Permits issued here, permit required to enter all wilderness areas. So that's what we're gonna do. Orangefield. Yeah, totally odd section of vegetation. All right, Tamarack Valley, San Jacinto Peak. That's where we're going. People on this trail are polite to a fault. Every single person we've got anywhere near to, or is coming the other direction, steps to the side of the trail. It's crazy. You can even just pass on the trail. It's wide enough, but man, good trail etiquette. Except for Dax and I, who haven't.
Yeah, I mean, we just are right.
We've bowled our way through.
Say thank you.
Dax and I are having a quick snack break, finishing some chips, having a gel.
Having a bacon pineapple combo. It's pretty good. Yeah.
This is what we're looking at. We are probably at 10,000 feet, and we have another 800-ish to go, a couple miles left. So far so good. We are in what feels like proper alpine now. Way down there, there's Palm Springs. So we are realistically probably 14 miles into our ascent, and we've been going uphill the entire time. Dax has been pretty incredible. Whoop. Like a champ, just keeps on plugging away. Haven't had to slow down or do anything at all. So, job well done, Senor Hock.
Keep on keeping on.
That's it.
Smooth, steady, and sexy. That's my mantra.
Yeah, but what's your running mantra?
Well, I haven't had to run yet, so we'll find out.
Yeah, that's the downhill. 10,750 feet. I just came across this house built of stone with wooden shake top. This would be a great place to come up in the winter and camp. We're told there's rock scrambling for the last 400 meters, and I think we're getting close to it. The sign we were at back there said 0.3 miles, and we're pretty close to 0.3 miles, frankly. So near the top.
Summit, here we come.
We're gonna get up in at 1:55. We left at 5:55. 8 hours to get to the top. Not a super crazy time, just slow and steady. We spent about 45 minutes at the chalet, and between odd breaks, sitting down and emptying shoes and eating, grabbing stuff from our packs, probably another half hour. So we wasted an hour 15, but that was nice recovery and filling of water. So now this is the trail. Now we're just gonna head straight up. Always a good sign that you're close. That looks like the top. And we have Boy Scouts on patrol. Nice work. Nice work. Almost. Oh, we gotta get to the top. There it is. Whoa. (360 degrees of view through every conceivable way up. Come on, Dax. Right here. Gotta stand right here. That's the tippy top. There he comes. Getting ready for the highest 5 in the entire Palm Springs region. Good work, my friend.
Sit down.
All right, sit down on the top of the mountain. Top of the mountain.
This is the highest spot.
Right there.
Right? Exactly where we're sitting. It's actually higher than the sign.
That's right. We're bogarting the peak so nobody can come up here. But, okay. So, 15 miles in.
Yeah.
About 11,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
We're enjoying some frozen chocolate with salt crystals. Was it about what you expected? A little harder, a little easier?
It's actually...
Talk louder in that direction.
Yeah, it's much easier than I was expecting.
Good.
My Saturday dance lesson routine is a little bit more intense than this.
Probably doesn't last that long, though, does it?
Back-to-back private lessons from about 10 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. Okay, don't break your tooth.
Wait, did you find anybody?
So, because Dax
Where'd you put my phone?
starts the morning early, CrossFit, and then stands on his feet all day dancing, teaching people how to
Yoga at 12.
yoga at 12. This is not such a big deal, even though we've been on our feet for 8 hours, uphill for 8 hours. So,
I mean,
it's doable. I wouldn't encourage you unless you feel
you've
pretty
been
fit.
sitting in your office chair all day. I don't know if this would be the best idea.
You can always bail out at the tram.
Yeah.
We're going to finish this chocolate bar, drink a little coconut water, get fueled up on the way down. Turnover rate's going to be much faster, and we're going to be running. Dax is a little worried.
My money makers might get damaged.
We will. Static survey spot for this mountain. Mount San Jacinto Peak, 10,834 feet. It has been overrun with small children playing hide and seek, but satisfying. We're heading down. Downhill legs, seeing if he's a gazelle or a gazelle-elephant.
Feeling like a gazelle-elephant, man.
You'll get some
crab walking gazelle-elephant.
One thing I'll say, keep yourself as upright as you can. Yeah. If you start leaning back and crabbing, you feel like you lose your traction a lot. And that's about as, that's, the technical place right there. I forgot to retie my shoes. We'll see how. We just used all the energy we stored up, all the gravity, and we use that to take us down.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Dax was just saying he had no idea how fun this would be. And we are dancing down the slope. It is. Small foot placements, light and easy, using the terrain, using what you got, being creative. So your feet
Flowing through the terrain. Love it.
absolutely let gravity work and let gravity do its thing.
Just don't let it work too hard.
It just carries you downhill. Try not to breathe too hard. So, not killing ourselves with pace. But the idea is your feet, just look for rocks, stay high, jump from side to side, look for little ways to dance through. Yeah. Don't fight it, flow with it. And that will absolutely be your friend.
Whoa. You
That-
filming?
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. I had no idea this is going to be this much fun. Hiking up it just, you don't see it coming. This is absolutely amazing. It's like dancing down a mountain for me. Syncopated, lovely rhythms against the rocks.
Dax is just emptying his shoes out a little.
Yeah.
Bring him up here. I'll show you how to do a ankle lock tie, and then that'll keep your feet from moving around. Ankle lock tie, by the way, you use this loop. You bring your lace through, and then it kind of cinches it up. Running downhill. What I also like about running downhill is there's so much creativity in where you put your feet, which way you go. It's like getting to lead the roller coaster where it goes. It's super fun. It is. One of the heavenly things you get to do on the trail. Get water, soak it on your face, soak it on your... Oh, there's my sock line. I'm definitely moving now. Another thing, when you're going up for 8 hours, there's times where I feel tired, miserable, and all that.
Yeah.
And think, oh, Jesus, we're gonna get to the top and we get all the way back down. But always, when you get to the top, pretty much always, as soon as you start letting the wheels go,
Energy.
releasing the brakes,
Energized.
it feels so
Like
good.
charging battery.
And that'll happen a bunch of times in long runs and races. So, super cool. So working through our pacing, going up to the tram station, we were averaged, including our lunch stop, a half hour per mile. Our lunch was about 45 minutes. So the 9 miles covered, take off 5 minutes per. Our average uphill for the beginning, it was just sustained hiking, was 25 minutes. The next 6 miles to the peak weren't quite as steep, and the average there ended up being 20 minutes a mile to get to the top. Down, we're probably doing 10 or 11s right now. Hello. Good. Congratulations, at this point you've doubled your mileage because you're at 20 miles. So another 10 to go, all downhill. And I'm gonna say, you'll start, I know you're starting to feel a little bit of the downhill.
Yeah.
You'll feel it a lot more. And it's fun to do, but you're right when you said keep the ego out of it.
Oh man.
Just
Totally.
ratchet back 1 notch.
Yeah.
You'll still probably have a few stumbles and whatever, but
Have some level 2, level 3 ankle experiences.
hopefully not.
Nothing serious.
We're almost
really
back.
like activate consciously through your whole leg.
Oh yeah.
And if you're tired, then you just be like, oh, I'm gonna relax a little bit here.
Yep.
No good.
Coming back in to the ranger hut. Gotta leave our little piece of paper, say we made it out of the wilderness area. It took us an hour to get down.
It's almost time to turn in our...
It is time. You drop it through the mailbox. So 10-minute miles down. technical, and the elevation helps. I guess we slide it through. Where's the mail slide?
It's over there. Keep going.
Where is it? Around the edge? Ah, yeah. Here it is. Day permit usage. Thanks, Rangers. Thank you for making it free for day trippers. That's appreciated. Are you really ready to go? 10 essentials. Map and compass, nope. Water and food, yep. Sun protection, yes. Matches, no. Fire starter, no. Extra clothing, no. Pocket knife, no. First aid kit, I got a couple band-aids, but that's it. Flashlight batteries, yes. Whistle. I think I got one on here. This might be a whistle. I don't know. This way. All right. This is the precipice that essentially drops down 8,500 feet. Actually, 8,100 feet, because I think it's 400 feet.
Raises in temperature to about 8,000 degrees.
Yeah. It's been nice, actually, since we got out.
Yeah,
really
incredible.
Beautiful temperature. But we know as soon as we get down towards Palm Springs, it's going to be high 90s, 100 degrees.
We got ice packs.
It's 3:40. It'll probably be 6 o'clock, maybe just a bit after by the time we get down, if we just keep it steady. Maybe a break or two, walk every now and then in the uphills, or if there's a section that's fairly flat, just to alter the pace. That's the strategy.
Legs are all on fire already.
Are they?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow you,
Yeah,
well,
we'll
maybe
feel.
not even tomorrow. Tomorrow, but in the next day, you'll start to feel. It'll be your glutes
Hip
and quads.
flexors and stuff.
Yeah. If you, do you descend a lot? Even going up, your legs are
fine,
pretty good.
yeah.
Going down,
I know.
it's harsh.
Impact.
Pretty steep, slippery, and scree, so it is very technical, not quite as flowy. It's dancing, but also having to make sure that you don't go too hard into something that looks potentially stable, but isn't. And a lot of back and forth. Here he comes. Looking good. Is essentially what we need to get down. So slidey and kind of vicious in terms of footwork. So they can't go quite as fast. We'll be significantly slower than our 10-minute miles down the last section, but also significantly faster than our time going up it. Some big trees come down, make some interesting lines down the scree field. This is beautiful downhill running, switchbacky, turning around. Dax is doing fantastically well with adapting to the dance with the mountain.
Dance with the mountain, baby.
Which is exactly what we're doing right now. Luckily, we're not in an area yet which has underbrush with serious spines, but we're going to get there. Then it's harder to brush up against stuff and make it work. Yeah. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Descent going quite nicely. Pretty regular breath patterns. Just keeping the feet dancing. Letting the farts go. And enjoying life downhill on the Cactus to Clouds. This is kind of the flow zone, state of flow for a trail runner, and well earned with a huge ascent earlier, but it makes the downhill disappear super quickly. And sorry. Palm Springs down there. That's essentially where we're going. You see the Palm Springs airport and a couple roads. We got to get down there.
Sweet.
If you can see, probably not with this resolution, but there's the wind farms around Palm Springs area. It's a little bit hazy, but dang, this is fun. This is following Dax, seeing how he dances through. It's nice to watch the trail craft. Woohoo! Little sliding out there. But this is surprisingly good technical descending from a newbie trail runner. It's fantastic. I figured you would be pretty solid, and true enough that you are. So this is a bit of a challenge going down because of how loose everything is. And the steps, the dirt and rocks that aren't fixed. But this is fantastic. There's ouch bushes everywhere, but we're trying to ignore them and avoid them. A few little opportunities to cut trail. As we get lower, there are multiple lines which you can take. Woohoo! Oh, nicely done. A full legit marathon's worth of distance. And we're still dancing and moving. So good job. And it's taking a lot longer.
Ever thought that I could climb that much, or hike that far, or run that much?
Yeah, it is incredible what we can do. A good day. Super good day. And you'll have a little record of it with the video.
Yeah.
All right, time to run.
You get poked?
No, I just did a good sprain.
Oh.
Probably a 7.5 on 10.
Shit.
Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, my left foot. But when you're out here, the only way to deal with it is to keep moving, pound it into submission. By the end of the run, I probably won't even notice it. But I'm not stopping. If I stop and then worry about it, put focus on it,
all the blood goes there.
Let the swelling happen. Right now, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. The blood is not all going to go there. It's going to go everywhere in my body. And by the end of the run, which is probably another hour and change, it'll be to the point where I'll feel a tiny bit tomorrow, but it's not going to be that bad. But it hurt a lot when I just did it. Ow, ow, ow. Ah, I hate that. Although, sometimes it's part of the deal. It's like when you step on a little rolly rock right in the middle of your foot, right under your arch, and you have to commit weight to that foot, then squirrely stuff happens. You can kind of save it by jumping and getting on the other foot, but you're gonna feel something like I just did. Ah! Right here, attach. And there's a little bit of a tight squeeze here between this.
I think it jumped on you.
Pretty much did.
They're hard to get out because you gotta.
They're spike balls. I'm stuck in my feet. Little bugger. Alright. Off. Yeah. Let's see mine. I got a little bit here and there. Tomorrow I'll have some scrapes and scabs, but worth it! So we are at 11 hours and 30 minutes. We're close to 12 hours finishing, but I think we're a little more than a half hour up at the moment.
Yeah.
It'll be close. So we might come in just over 12. All things considered, pretty successful day. Just gonna finish careful, mindful, healthy, and we will be good.
Right here.
Outside.
So much stress.
Part of it's just you're not used to it. It's wow, that rock is hot to sit on. Going down there.
Oh man.
We're not far. Dax has entered the hurt zone. Knees.
Yeah. Blistered feet.
Blisters. But that's part of the learning process. Slightly different shoes, maybe. Slightly different socks. Look at your feet a bit different. And your knees. You basically are going from 0 trail running to, not 100, but let's say 65 to do a 50K run out of the gate without training with 11,000 feet of climbing. It's pretty spectacular and impressive. Wouldn't have done my job if you'd come back fresh as a daisy, though.
I know. I was expecting to get spit out.
I don't think you got spit out, but you got chewed up a bit.
Yeah, chewed. Keeping you in there.
I think we got maybe 15 minutes left of descent, although it's coming closer and closer slowly. Here's a picture of pain right here. Ooh.
A picture of a lot more than pain.
Oh my God. Oh. I'm sorry if I distracted you with that.
It's okay. That was going to happen regardless.
Well, then I'm glad we had the camera going.
Oh.
Still slipping. We are, every time we come around the corner, approaching another view, and it looks quite close, and then there's another hill, another switchback, another bulge that we have to go over. We ran out of water maybe 15 minutes ago. We got maybe 10-15 minutes to get down, so it'll be good to get something liquid and cold very quickly. Here's the picnic area. Woo! My lovely daughter is in that silver car, ready to pick us up. So, last
hit the pavement when we get down.
2 minutes, and Dax is gonna hug the cement. So, a little crossing of a road, and we are 40 vertical feet from the bottom. Dax has persevered against all odds. Good job, buddy.
Thanks. Ah.
And we're almost home. Will be good to get some liquid. The last steps.
Ah! Oh. Oh.
Hey, kiddo. He is done.
Oh.
You made it. Very impressive. Hey, kid. Everything went according to plan, believe it or not. You've been hanging out with the AC and grooving. Is there anything cold to drink in the car? Nothing? All right. We will have to rectify that. Indigo thoughtfully brought paper towels for us to get our sweat off. My whole shirt has a salt beard on it from... Thank you. Dax. Any guesses on the temperature? Just dissecting the skin. Oh yeah. That's a good blister on the big toe there.
bit of one there too.
Yeah. They're all over the place right there too. Where are the wet wipes so I can wipe my feet?
I don't know.
Can you hand me my Camelback?
Yeah.
Worth it?
Yes. Yes. Very worth it.
He says yes.
Very worth it. Very. It was ultra challenging. I can't even talk because I can't breathe. So. I feel like I go on dust.
And he was asking what Dax thought.
It was amazing.
Dax actually did amazingly well for not training and coming out and running an extremely challenging 50K run with 11,000 feet of climbing, finishing in 106-degree temperatures. Good run. Perfect. Good work, good work.
Blisters on my feet, man.